Everybody, Lair Farmer 73 here. Get out of there. Hey everybody, what's going on? Lair Farmer 73 here. Uh, Guava, everybody, and welcome to the Greenhouse Lounge. Before I get started, not gonna be here long. I just wanted to show you guys it's pear harvesting time. And again, all I'm here to do is talk about how prolific the Orient pear is. I don't care where you live, in the north, the south, the east, or west. If you love pears as much as I do, and you don't want all of the diseases and yuck and the garbage. Hey, my Renaissance grandma, how you doing? This is the pear. Hey, Suds and Skins Natural. I just wanted, while I'm picking a few, I said, let me just come in here and holler at people. As y'all see, I've been really taking it easy, laying back, and this is what we're doing. I just got done with another harvest. I got some avocados here. I'm not gonna do anything with them yet, but yeah. Here we go. How you doing, Carolyn? Oh, Carolina, how you doing? Oh, and Carolyn, how you doing? Hey, Country Hustle 101, what's going on? Let me get this phone out the sun because it will cut off. Get you over here in the shade with me a little bit more. How you doing, Guns and Gardens? Country Hustle, Southern Natural. Oh, I can feel the phone heating up right now. That's okay. The only reason I'm doing this harvest, oh, perfect. The only reason I'm doing this harvest right at this minute is because the squirrels are tearing me out the frame. Let me show you. The squirrels are tearing me up because these babies are ready to go. So if you looking for a good pear tree that lets out hundreds, if not thousands of pears, and is disease resistant, is heat tolerant, is cold tolerant, it's this Orient pear tree. Now I'm gonna just leave this out here for the deer, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. To find out if your pear is ripe, you just pull up on it and it should come right off like that. If you have to tug on that pear, it's not ready. So I would have to pick him. I missed something. Oh, I would have to pick him, yeah. Hey, Cloud Walker. Say, put an Orient pear in the ground this spring. Can't wait to see it. I'm surprised it ain't give you fruit already. Let me see. Let me see. Devonta says, going to Nick's nursery next month. Okay. Tell him I sent you, okay? He's a good guy. Good guy. You said you have a Kiefer pear. They just didn't do it for me. I had one. I even have a Bartlett that it always catch disease, and I gotta cut them back. But I do have a few Bartletts hanging up there, miraculously. Let's see. Cuz I says, I am so sad our pear tree went brown in the top and we lost our pears. Yeah. That's why I picked this pear. It's delicious, it's sweet. It's not as creamy as a Bartlett, but it's still delicious, sweet, and fairly smooth. It's good fresh eating, but I really like to eat them fresh and can them. But this is what they do. Now the squirrels have, between the squirrel and the deer, they took about 100 pears off of here. And that's why I'm just going for it now. But it's so many, they still leave me a lot to pick. You know, it's still tons to pick. And I just want to get them. I know this bowl ain't big enough for nothing. Hey, Unbiased LLC, how you doing, my sister? Look at this. Watch this. That's that kind of stuff I be looking for. Look at the size of my head. Big juicy pear. You sit that on the counter for a few days till it gets kind of soft. You can't do. You talking about good eating, or wait till it get a little bit more sweet and then go ahead and can it up, because that's what I plan on doing. Every year I can these pears because it's more than you can eat. How you doing, Aunt for barbecue? Yes. You know what? It was loaded. It was loaded so much it looked like it had more fruit than it had leaves. But every time I look out, and once I got back from on our travel across the country, half of them was on the ground, and the other half squirrels had been eating at all of them, and they eating my avocados and everything. But this this is it. Trust me on trust me on the Orient pear. The Orient pear tree. If you're looking for a pear tree, I'm giving you straight up true real life experience. I don't feed this tree. I don't water this tree. I don't do anything. Let it grow on its own. And it's been doing this. I have never fed this tree. Never. I've never watered it, never fed it on purpose, mind you. Never. It just, and it did all of this. I'm gonna take all of these, even the little ones, because the squirrels is tearing them up. Look at this right here. This guy. Look at that. Look at that guy there. And I said, let me go on here and go live and let you guys know. Because some people want to grow these pears. Look at them all on the ground. Some people want to grow these pears and they want to grow these fruit, but they have a problem. Like, which one should I get? Which pear tree should I get? Which apple tree should I get? Well, I'm giving you firsthand knowledge right now. I'm in South Carolina. You will see these pear trees everywhere. And it's so humid out here. But they grow like this. They grow like grapes. You see that? They literally grow like grapes. And every time the storm come, like last night, the storm will knock a bunch off. Like that. I'm trying to be cool. If you find an Orient pear tree, you really need to pick one up. I don't care where you get it from. Look at this. They grow like grapes. I am not going to be able to pick all of these, but I just wanted to give you guys an example of them. Let me see. I can show you better if I look up a little bit. They grow like grapes. I'm going to just can all of this stuff up. You just lift up on them and they fall right off. Get the phone out the sun. I still got a bunch to pick. I'm going to be out here for a while. But what I wanted to do, let me see. Fire blight, browns, and spreads. No fire blight. And I'm going to show you how resistant and how resilient this tree is to fire blight and other diseases. Watch this. Every time it gets a little bit of fire blight, it defends itself. Right here is a perfect example. Right here. See this brown leaf? That's as much fire blight as you're gonna get. Now watch this. Here's another limb on another tree. Everybody that knows anything about pear diseases with fire blight, you know this branch would have took your whole tree out. This is fire blight right here. This tree has a way of defending itself, because look now, it literally stops it and it's over with. I don't even have to really cut this off unless I'm trying to protect my other trees, but it defends itself from fire blight. And everybody that grows pears, let's see, everybody that grows pears, one of our biggest problems is fire blight. It will tear your whole tree up. I don't care if your tree been growing for a year, 2 years, 30 years. Your 30-year tree will go downhill. Look, I can't even fit no more pears in here. Just in a few seconds. So I'm gonna have to go and restock. So let's go up here and talk real quick. Try to get out the sun so the phone don't burn up. That's better. We just had a storm here. The storm coming through Texas is coming this way. And we're dealing with that right now. I got jalapeno peppers up the yin yang. Any questions before I go? I just wanted to come in here and touch base, and I wanted to show you guys, like, listen, if you're looking for a pear tree right now during, it's middle of summer and the prices, what do you do about fire blight? If you detect fire blight, I'm gonna say where the fire blight ends on the branch, because the branch is black too, cut about 1 foot or 2 feet below that. That might decimate your entire tree. If your tree ain't that big, you gotta do it. You have to. And then when you look down in the center of the trunk of the tree, if you see that little bit of brown inside on the wood or around the cambium layer, cut it out again. Did you prune in order to get fruit? I don't prune my pear tree. I leave that tree alone. I don't do anything. With the Orient pear tree, you don't have to do anything. Anything. You know what? I told my wife, I said, I'm almost scared to feed the tree, because if I feed it, we can't even eat the pears that it give us when I don't feed and water. If I start feeding and watering that tree, I'll have enough food to feed America. Mama says, love these pears. My grandmother has these trees since I was a little kid, and it's still bearing fruit. Can I cut a branch from my grandma tree and transplant it to my garden? Go to my I want you to go to my playlist to show you how to. It's a grafting air layering playlist, and I got a little style called the chili dog. And if you go and do that chili dog air layer a branch off, and then you will have the exact same tree, and it will fruit the same year, and you can take it off and go put it in your yard. I air layered last year. I did this live and I did a video. I took about 4 air layers off of that pear tree, and I took them out to our land once they were done, and that's where they're growing right now. Hey girl dad, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you. Will this pear grow in Michigan? Yes, it will. They're cold hardy, heat tolerant, disease tolerant. To me, out of all the pear trees I've had, that is a no nonsense, don't do nothing to put it in the ground, walk away tree. Karen L says, my neighbor has pear trees in her yard, and I don't think she even knows. Most people don't. Most people don't. They'll go their whole life living in a house and won't know they have fruit trees on their land. Thank you, Mama. Said, okay, so much, Liv Farmer. You are an inspiration. Pup. No, come here. Come on. Come on. Okay. Can I start in a bucket? Can you start your pear tree in a bucket? Yes, you can, but that's not a good idea for long term. Not for a pear. You can start one in a bucket, but I really would not advise leaving it in not a pear tree. An apple you can do for a while, but a pear tree, I just wouldn't do it longer than maybe 6 months to a year. Let me see. It's so humid out here. It's like I'm not even hot, but it's the humidity is, my Asian pears are getting fire blight. Gardening with Bear Brown. Let me tell you something about Asian pears. I have 8 of them. I'm done with Asian pears, because Asian pears I'd rather grow a Bartlett pear. Asian pears are simply delicious, and they're very expensive, but every year I cut each of my Asian pears in half, and I got them all. I got the Shinko, Shinseki, you name it, I got them all. And every year I have to literally cut them in half, if not more so, because the whole top end fire blight. I could take you to them right now, and they're only about 5'10". They're about as tall as me. But if I didn't have to cut them in half every single year, all of them would probably be 20 feet tall like these and full of fruit. Asian pears, they do not like the humidity. They don't like humid. They catch fire blight too easy, all of them. They said the Shinko is the most fire blight resistance. That too was a lie. How you doing, Pamela? Say, Led, you make my day watching you have taught my family so much, and Lady Led are the best. Thank you so much for that. Mama says, also, I noticed she also grew pecans trees near. My pecan trees are right here, all in my yard. You can't even see them. But I got 5 pecan trees. Let me just see if I can stand up and show you real quick. 2 of my biggest pecan trees, that's one pecan tree right there. And here's the other one right here. I got another one. Let me see. Let me show you. Right. Oh man, I'm getting caught up. Another pecan tree right here. Another one right, that little guy. And it's another one way out far. And they're all full of nuts. And they're all full of nuts. So I'm doing the exact same thing you said your grandmother doing. I'm growing all my stuff together. People keep thinking you need a bunch of space for all of these trees. If you're growing them in your own personal backyard, that's up to you how close you grow them together. It won't hurt anything. So you can donate your extra pears to food pantry and shelters. Yes, you can. You know what, cuz I thank you, but my garden, my yard is a total mess with all the stuff that I've been handling. And I'm only right now growing things that I eat. I'm only growing things that I know I'm going to store. I'm not going out of my way to grow anything extra. I'm only growing things that I know work right now. I got citrus. Oh, and my bananas, I'm about to have some bananas. The flag leaf came out, and I would love to show y'all the banana, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to reach out there without blurring out. I would love to take you to go see the banana tree. Let me see. How are you dealing with it? I'm having no success. Dealing with what? Aniqua. How are you dealing with what? Which is your favorite pear tree? I'm talking about it right now. Now, growing, it's a difference. Which one is my favorite to grow? Is that doggone Orient pear tree. The Orient. Thank you, Suds and Skin Naturals. Thank you for that. I really appreciate the donation. Thank you. My favorite to grow is the Orient pear. My favorite to eat is a Bartlett pear or Anjou. Actually, it's the Anjou pear is my all-time favorite. Next to that is a Bartlett, but that's, what kind of banana. I have so many different bananas. I have the Rajapuri. I have the Rajapuri is very productive. I have the Chiquita banana. I always forget the other name for the Chiquita banana. I have the Blue Java, which is the ice cream banana. I have, oh my God, I got so many. Oh, I got 2 different kind of plantains. Led, do I have a Cash App? Yes, it's in my description box. Thank you for that. Who sells the best trees? Honestly, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as who sells the best trees. You have to have an eye for the tree that you're buying. And if you're talking about online, you really, truly, truly need to trust in reputation. If you're purchasing fruit trees online, reputation is everything online. And I mean that. I, I, I bought probably 100 or more trees online over the years. Reputation really matters. It really matters. After 2020, things got a little weird, so I don't know how a lot of the companies are anymore, because I really haven't purchased since. I like going places in person. Since when the prices went up online, I just start traveling, and instead of spending $50 on shipping for a stick of a tree that looks something like this, I'd rather spend that $50 in fuel to travel to somewhere where I can get a tree the normal size. It just makes perfect sense to me. I say and here's the other thing. When you're waiting on your shipping, they say it'll be there in about a week or two. If you put the gas in your car, you can go get it right now. So you know when you'll be able to pick your tree up, and you can pick through and see which tree fits better for your situation. You don't have that option or that pleasure online. So my pear tree has been in a pot for 2 years. Should I place pear in full sun? Your pear should not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be in full sun. None of my pears are in full sun all day. But I would really truly take that pear out of the bucket. I would take that pear out of the container. Have you gotten fruit from that pear in the container? And what kind of pear is it? What kind of pear is it? Have you gotten fruit in the last 2 years from that pear tree? And how tall is it? All of that is a factor. I don't recommend keeping a pear tree in a container at all. Yeah. Pears don't like containers. Like an apple, you can kind of get away with certain apples in a container for a certain amount of time. Pears don't go for it at all. They don't like it. Let me see. Suds and Skin says, when you buy it, how long does it take to start growing you food? That's all up to you. How you take care of your tree and how you feed it, water it, and care for your tree, when it gives you fruit, is completely up to you. Plus, how big was the tree when you purchased it? If you purchased a tree and it looks like this, okay. If you purchased a tree and it looks like this, just take care of the tree. Stop worrying about when it's going to give you food and take care of the tree. Here's another one. That I still get a lot of confusion about. I am growing this avocado from seed. I started this avocado from seed. When will I get fruit on that avocado? It may be 10 years. It may be never. What will that fruit taste like? I have no idea. That will not taste like that delicious avocado. I ate a Monroe avocado. That will not taste like that Monroe avocado. It'll be something completely different. What about my fig and blueberry trees in a bucket? They are not fruiting, but are 5 feet tall. Okay, fig trees like containers and blueberries like containers. It depends on how long you've had them. And it also depends on, are you feeding them properly? Are you feeding them the nutrition that they need? Are you watering them properly? All of that counts. Them being in a container, you got to understand something. Them being in a container, every time you water your fruit trees, you wash out the nutrients out of the bottom of the container. All of the nutrients is going to just wash out. So you got to constantly keep replenishing the nutrients inside of the container. When they're in the ground and you're not feeding them properly, that tree is smart enough, because it's plugged into the earth. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. When you plug things into the earth to me, the earth is the power grid for life. Is one of the power grids for life. And each one of us, your tree and everything is a plug. And you stick that in the outlet, which is the soil. And that's when things really start lighting up. It's the best way I can put it. I know it sounds corny to a lot of people, but all you got to do is look at nature. It ain't got nothing to do with your belief. It ain't got nothing to do with your religion. It has to do with look at nature and watch how it works. Look at a tree inside of a container, how it grows, without your help. Without your help. And then look at a tree in the ground that's been plugged into Mother Earth without your help, and look how it grows. See, once you put something in a container, you are artificially, it's in an artificial world. It's like a petting zoo for a tree. You know, a lion can't do stuff that lions want to do when they're in the zoo, right? They only have a certain area that they can go roam in. The zookeepers gotta feed them or they won't make it, correct? Your tree is no different. And I like to think of this. Your tree is a life form. Your tree is a life form, and I don't know why we keep thinking it is not. If you treat your tree like a life form, you'll understand it a lot better. We think it's some kind of inanimate object. Just because your tree sits in front of your house all day, it doesn't talk back, it doesn't say anything, it doesn't move, it only sways in the wind. We think it's just an inanimate object. It's not communicating or anything else like that. I beg to differ. The best way to take care of your trees is once you start thinking of your trees and plants as life forms, you will understand them better. And you will have a little bit more compassion for them while you're trying to help them grow. I know this is another myth when they say you should talk to your plants. Yeah, my wife talks to her plants all the time and they always do great. Just saying. All right. So again, I didn't want to be on here very long. I just wanted to come in here and touch base with y'all. I've been gone on the road. Every time I come back, my beard is longer, my hair is longer, right? Next thing, I'm gonna come out with an afro like this, and it's gonna be connected to my beard. That's right, Karen. Care for your plants and trees, and they'll care for you. Is this summer hot heat? Okay, you sound like you might need to do a little extra research, okay? Because it sounds like you just got some trees and put them in a pot, and you didn't do the research on what each and every individual tree needs. You truly need to pay attention to what your tree needs. Again, remember what I just said. Think of your trees as a life form. Think of your trees like a child. You just don't have a child and just go sit it in the high chair and think it's going to do anything. You have to do research. You got to ask Meemaw. You got to ask Grandma. You got to ask your mama and your daddy. You got to ask your uncles and your aunts. Am I doing this right? How am I doing this? What should I do next? Should I be feeding them because they don't like the formula that I gave them, or they don't want to breastfeed? Or you have to do your own research. Your plant is absolutely no different. Your plant is no different. Here's another thing. Your trees and your plants have personalities. I know that sounds crazy, and people is like, Led, you kind of going off the deep end. No, I'm not. You could give one tree. I got jalapeno peppers here, and I give both plants the same exact amount of compost and the same kind of compost. One tree performs so much, I keep picking the fruit off of one jalapeno pepper, and the other one is like, I give you a little fruit. They're the exact same plant. They have different personalities. One like being in the shade, one like being in the sun. One likes a lot of water, the other one doesn't. It's a weird thing. And if you're a gardener, or if you're a new gardener, a beginning gardener, I'm gonna tell you this. You have to pay attention to your plants and see what they want. Just because you read something and it says, um, here's one, here's a good one. Jalapeno peppers love lots and lots of water. I beg to differ. They really don't get on with a whole bunch of water. And they say you don't have to feed jalapeno peppers that much. You don't have to, but the more compost you give a jalapeno, look, let me tell you, the more compost you put on a jalapeno pepper, fruit forever. Forever. I got fruit forever. And they're big. Big, huge. So blackberry, same thing. So the more, oh, dare I say pears, you have to know what your tree and what your plant wants. And the best way I can say to do it is you have to watch them, because everybody's advice, even my own to you, will not be the best advice for your situation. Mama says, I planted my tomatoes, potatoes, herbs, plants, compost. They loved it and are yielding fruit. By the way, my peppers are not doing well. What fertilizer do you use? I don't use any fertilizer. I use compost from my yard. I don't use any fertilizer, no chemicals, no, not even a little chicken poop here and there, but nothing. Coffee grounds. So you have your own produce market, sell what you are able to use or donate. Can I talk about that for a moment? About, because I've caught two. Okay, I don't want my phone to overheat before I get done saying what I'm saying. I don't want to. I don't want to sound harsh, but I've heard the word donate 2 different times, I believe, or more. There's nothing wrong with donating. There's nothing wrong with donating at all. As a matter of fact, it's the honorable thing to do. But here's the thing. I know you ain't gonna like this message. We really should be stocking up our food right now. You really should be. I said I'm gonna try my hardest to kind of stay away from that. You really should be putting your food away. This isn't, hey, I got enough for dinner for the next 3 days and now I'm just gonna give the rest away. After all my hard work and all of the work I put into my garden, give it all away when the world is in a weird space right now. I personally say you really need to be canning your food, drying your food, putting your food away for hard times. That's all I'm saying. Nothing wrong with donations whatsoever. But I truly advise you grow as much food as you can and put and store and stock as much food away as you can. I'm sorry. It's nothing. It's not like I'm being cruel. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here, Peach. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. You're getting weird on me. So I'm not being cruel or anything. But this world is weird. I don't think I'm the only one to see it or pay attention. If you are not storing and stocking up your food, you may end up being one of the people that need to be donated to. You understand? I do not want to end up in a situation where I'm the one that's asking or begging for food or having to do something strange for food. So that's why I keep my garden going. I know I don't do a lot of videos on it no more. I don't do videos about my land no more because things are getting so crucial right now that some things you need to keep private. Some things you need to up the ante on. Some things you need to hit the gas on. And one of those things to me is growing food and stocking and storing away and preserving your food. That's all I can say. And if you can't do that, you know, purchase food that's already ready to be stored. Canned goods, peanut butters, jelly, honey, so on and so forth. That's I gotta let you know that. She is really trying to, what is you trying to get? No, she's trying to attack frogs. So, you know, and I've heard the donate thing several times, and I don't want to pretend like uh, I don't do that or care, because I do. Say, I thought I heard you say some of some of the would go to waste. That is why I suggested donate. Nothing goes to waste here. You're thinking about the pears, that I said that the squirrels ate. That's what you were probably thinking about. They won't go to waste, because what that does, when I leave the squirrel bitten pears on the ground like that, the squirrels will go and finish eating this before they go and ravage my tree again. So the donation to the deer and the donation to the squirrels, this one pear is almost like a trap. When I leave this on the ground, the raccoons, the squirrels, the possums, and the deer, they'll eat this because it's easy pickings. It's on the ground. And they'll leave the rest of my stuff alone, or give me a better chance and time to pick them. So nothing here goes to waste. Nothing. Nothing. You know? Between my properties, I have plenty of food, plenty of stores, plenty of water, everything, and nothing goes to waste. Just because we don't always make a video about certain things that we do and accomplish, trust me, this wheel never stops turning, ever. It's just everything ain't really meant for to be a video, you know. So you inspired me to be a prepper years ago. I since learned how to can, dry, preserve, stock up my food. Bless you for your wisdom and your knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just didn't want to come off as some, you know, some cruel monster that I'm like, I ain't donating nothing. I don't want to come across like that, because if I seen somebody in dire straits, I would. But trust and believe, I gotta feed mine first. We're getting to that point where that thought really needs to be on your mind. You need to feed yours first. How many people got small children? How many people have elderly mothers and fathers, uncles and aunts in your home that needs food? And I'm going to say one other thing. But people need to start gardening. Listen, gardening has been the hottest topic on all social media for even at least the last 4 years. Forget 8. I'm talking about, let's just say the last 8 years. Gardening has been the hottest subject, hottest topic, better subject than any entertainer, better subject than any new dance move, better subject than any scandal going on. Gardening is the top #1 genre, and people need to know about it. Here's the problem with that. If people have not seen that you need to be growing some food by now, it's not a whole bunch of stuff you can keep telling folks. You see, I kind of reeled it back a little bit. You just can't keep beating people over the head about what they should and shouldn't be doing. For instance, I do need to lose 50, 60 pounds, and people beat you over the head about it. Does that make it happen? A person has to be hey, I think you've had enough. That's crazy. She trying to get these frogs, man. She trying to jump out my arm to attack these little frogs all around me. But you really truly, nobody can beat you over the head and make you do anything if you don't start to realize, like, hey, I'm putting on a little weight. Hey, I can't walk as fast as I can. I can't run as fast as I can anymore. I need to do something better. I need to start getting a multivitamin in my body, drinking more water. Nobody can make you do anything. So when it comes to prepping and everything like that, sometimes, in my own opinion, you have to turn and get on the trail and leave some people behind. It's even biblical. Don't turn back. You know the mission. You have to keep going forward. You know the mission. You know what you should and shouldn't be doing. And if you keep warning people and tell them, come on, come on, come on, the tsunami is coming, we got to run. And the person said, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to enjoy the sunset. You can't keep sitting there trying to tug at their arm and trying to make them come on. And I've been doing it for 15 years. And I'm getting to I have gotten to a point where I'm realizing you can't make anybody do anything. I don't care how cool you make a subject, or I don't care how innovative your subject matter is. Let me get over here. That sun is creeping up on me. If people aren't ready to change, let me do this. Watch this. Hold on. Okay. Hydrate. If people aren't ready to change, you can't make them change. Okay, say sadly true, and now gardening and growing is so extra trendy. Soil compost. Let me see. Soil compost and supplies are more expensive and lower quality. My next step is making my own compost. Yes, and you know what? I came up with this term. I came up with this term a couple of weeks ago during a live that I had to take down because I was kind of getting upset. I called them cosplay preppers. It's people that have no intentions whatsoever on eating their own food, growing their own food, stocking up supplies, gathering supplies, nothing. Their only intent is to get views on social media. Look at that. And that's kind of why I backed off a little bit. Because I don't want to have anything to do with that. People going to get hurt. People will get hurt with that. And there's a lot of people that, good luck with that. And I don't want to be part of that. I just don't want to have anything to do with it. Period. So everything is trendy now. It's good. Nothing better than a sun-ripened tomato. You can let them sit on the counter. They'll be great. A sun-ripened tomato, there is nothing that compares. If you don't like tomatoes, I want to get another one. How many people don't like tomatoes? My wife does not like tomatoes at all. But I tell you one thing. A sun-ripened tomato on your own vine. Get this tomato right here. It's called a mortgage lifter. My neighbor got me hip to this tomato. Get a mortgage lifter tomato and let it sun ripen on the vine and then eat it. It does not taste like a store-bought tomato, like at all. Most people don't like the tomatoes that they purchase from the store, and they say, I don't like tomatoes. Even she'll eat our sun-ripened tomatoes. Y'all have seen it on our videos in the past. She goes, oh, that ain't bad. When we grow them, it just hit different. It don't taste anything like nothing you buy in the store. And I know that sounds corny because that's trending, but that part is true. If you literally, I really want to go grab another one. If you literally, okay, cherry tomatoes. They call cherry tomatoes because they kind of look like little cherries. It's another reason too. Because if you, let me show you. If you get a cherry tomato, this ripe, it's so sweet. It doesn't taste, it tastes like a fruit. I mean, this is as good as eating a bunch of cherries. You could do this all day. Get another one now. If you get these, it's as good as eating, you're sitting there eating blackberries or blueberries because of the sweetness. You let them get red like a cherry. Don't pull your green ones. Oh, sun gold, they're super sweet. This is that sweet 1000. The sweet 1000 is one of my favorites because of the sweetness. And so how do you know if your peach tree is dead? I had small fruit last year. Now it has not even green leaves. Take a knife and scratch the trunk and see if it's green down there. If it's not and it's brown, it might have bit the dust. So that's so true. None of my garden grown fruits and vegetables taste like the store. It tastes much better. Some of the stuff you're not even, when you taste it out of your own garden, you gotta question yourself. When I taste this tomato, you know what it makes me wonder? When you buy a tomato from the store, it makes you wonder, what the heck have I been eating then? That puts something on your mind. Like, if this is what it's really supposed to taste like from seed, what have I been buying? Because the stuff I buy from the store tastes like notebook paper. Right? Right. So, it just makes you think. That's all. It makes you really think. And it really does make you wanna try to grow food. Some people, you should try to grow food. At least try. Because you won't know. My words cannot show you. Nobody's words that you watch on social media is going to show you and actually prove to you the truth. You literally have to grow it yourself. I think I'm gonna make some tomato soup. Let's see what we got. Say my friends call me a fruit snob because I politely decline whenever anyone offers me fruits they bought at the store. I know what amazing fresh fruit and produce tastes like. Honestly, I can't even knock you for that. Soil Sister, how you doing, sister? Say, question, everything from the grocery store because the food is not fooding anymore. I got a steak from a local farmer, and what a difference. You got a Steak from a local farmer. Oh, questioning everything. That's what you said. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, I don't want to mess with this at all, but there's a word I wanna put out there. I did a video just recently about me comparing one product of these soap pads to another, and I got comments saying, "Well, all you have to do is," they said, "Why even bother with those two products? Why don't you just go get a cotton cloth and go get you some soap and a little bit of water and put them together, and you don't have to deal with any of that?" Okay, that's a great question. But it's also telling. It tells you that you don't get out much. Because when you're on the road and you're sleeping in your RV, you're sleeping in your van, you're sleeping in your trailer or your camper, or you're out camping, water is everything. Okay? You can't waste a drop of water. Somebody said, why don't you just take a shower and get it over with? Stop being lazy. Take a shower with what? When you can only carry about 5 to 10 gallons of water with you in that space, where are you putting this water at? And then when you get to your destination, you have to drink, you have to eat, you have to bathe, you have to do wash up, you have to do everything with that water. It only goes so far, and you don't know when the next time you're going to be able to replenish it. Now, with that being said, for the people that said, just get some soap, why do you trust those chemicals? Just buy soap. Stick with me. Did you hear? Did anybody catch what I just said? Why keep messing with those chemicals on those soap pads and just go buy a bar of soap? The word that I live by is trust. The word that I live by is trust. Why would you trust this chemical but not trust this chemical? It doesn't make any sense. So they told me, forget that chemical, you need to go buy this chemical. Because this chemical, it doesn't make any sense. And then somebody said, well, I make my own soap. All I do is go buy. That's the words, see, this is the catch words for me. All I do is go buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, and put it all together and make my own soap. All you did was tell me you bought these chemicals, bought those chemicals, bought those chemicals. You trusted that those people told you those chemicals weren't all natural. Trust. The word is trust. I trust no man. Period. No man. I trust the Father and Mother Nature. So, with the word trust being thrown out there like that, I trust. I grew that tomato. Nobody came and glued that tomato to my plants. Let me show you. Nobody came and glued any of these tomatoes and peppers to my plants there. I did that. I know where that came from. I know what I fed those plants. The question is, do I trust myself with what I did? The question is absolutely. I don't have to go next door to my neighbors and say, what did you put in this? No, I did that. So the word that I live by is trust. I kid you not. I don't like playing with words, and words are a trustful thing. When you say don't do that, just do that, okay? Why do you trust this company over that company? Why are you trusting that this company doesn't have chemicals in it that could shorten your lifespan, but you trust in that one because it's more well known? It's a matter of learning things on your own, growing your own food, collecting your own stuff, growing your own fruit trees. If you're not doing that, I don't want to hear about trust. If you're not growing your own food, the word trust is out the window. Now it's personal because you trust this company. It's a personal thing. It doesn't mean they're doing, I'm not going to get into that. I know this is heavier than I thought it was going to be. I know what that tastes like. I know what that pear tastes like. You know why? Because the only person I trust helped me grow this. The Father helped me grow this. I trust it. I know I didn't put any chemicals in it. I know everything that went in it. The Father did this. I trust the Father. That's it. I trust no man. This fruit is that. This fruit right here that I hold in my hand is a bond of trust between me and the Father, right there. Because I watched this grow from nothing. Nobody had any input on this. I don't have to question it. So I really wanted to say that because out here in this gardening world, when everybody like, I don't use this, I use that, I don't use that, I use this, it's subjective. So what you just said is why I grow 80% of our own food. Yes, correct. And then when I do have to purchase something from the store, I don't even fuss about it no more because I know the game. You know the game, right? This is about money. This is not about the betterment of one another. This is about money. This is the money game. Who can sell the most stuff, make the most money without spending, with spending the least amount of money? That's what this is. That's what this world has become. It's the money game. And the only way to get out of it, man. And frankly, it's a lot of folks like me, they don't want me saying too much no more. Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed that? It's a lot of us out there ringing that bell. They don't want nobody ringing that bell. Just saying. So once I noticed that, I was like, the folks that can hear you, they'll hear you. The folks that don't, you gonna have to keep pushing. You can't keep turning around saying, come on. You can't. You can't. Because I will fail. Have you ever, let me give you an example. Have you ever heard the story? This happens every single year. Every year I've been alive, I've heard this same exact story. It's almost like Groundhog Day. It keeps replaying itself over and over. New characters, different, same scenario. Every year, there's an animal somewhere that gets stuck in a lake. In a frozen lake, and it can't get out. Whether it's a deer, a caribou, a dog, it's always an animal that gets stuck in the ice or stuck out in a lake or something. 3 guys will jump out to try to save the deer. 3 guys will jump out to try to save the dog that's drowning in the frozen lake. The dog is always the only one that makes it back. The dog is safe and sound, but now you have search and rescue searching for those 3 guys that went and saved the dog. Now they're heroes, right? Right? Okay. My point of saying all of that is, if you keep trying to go back to get that one, and you have hundreds or thousands of people depending on you, you rather for the hundreds or thousands of people to lose their battle as well, for that one that ignored the sign that said stay off the freaking ice. Ice is thin. I know that's a rough story to tell, but it's the truth. I'm not trying to say this stuff to be cruel at all. I'm just saying we're coming to a critical moment in all of our histories. In all of our history, we're coming to a critical time and a critical moment where the things that you thought you would do won't be what you do anymore. The things you thought you would say, you won't necessarily say anymore. The people you thought you would support and uphold, you won't necessarily want to uphold and support them anymore. Things are changing. Night is day, day is night, up is down, down is up. And if you are not trying to protect your own, you may run into a problem. That's all I have to say about that. Grow your own, eat your own. With that being said, thank you everybody for coming in. I'm going to go out here and finish harvesting the rest of these pears. I think I better go get a 5-gallon bucket or two and let the puppy back out so she can go and chase frogs or something. Thank y'all for coming in, hollering at me. Live Farmer 73. I love you, and I'm out. Peace.